Oh, we're over there.
Oh, it's live. I just saw it pop
Here
up.
we go.
It happened.
Here we go, Internet. Here we go. We're getting ready. We're going to get all the Internets going. We got you on the Facebook. We got you on the Twitch stream. We got you on at least one of the Periscope accounts. I'm going to go double check the other one right now. We're going to get right out, all up in your internets right now. Brian Crawford is with us here tonight.
I am.
You are. You made me think that I forgot who you were for a moment with the way you said it. I'm like, wait, am I that tired? Did I forget who my guest was? Did I completely just say somebody else's name?
I'm here.
No problem. No problem. Although are we receiving? Are we getting? I do need to reset my periscopes. It just, since it's a weekly thing, I think I lose the authorization to Periscope every week.
Okay.
And I have to,
so I've never streamed on Periscope, so...
Well, the nice thing is, the way that we have this, we kind of have 2 layers of multi-streaming. So, Are you familiar with Restream?
I'm vaguely, I know of it. I haven't played with it or anything.
So, you log into it and you stream to it, and then it streams to multiple places.
Uh-huh.
Well, the high-end thing that we pay for also does that to an extent, but it also includes, I can go to Facebook, right?
Oh, okay.
I have to pay for Restream to go to Facebook. Plus, it goes to that platform, and it's actually for one of our wrestling products, but it works very well if I just hide the video and use it as a go-between for other products.
Oh, okay.
So, and I can't find the login for AwesomeCast for some reason. What the hell? I have to remove some of these Twitter accounts for podcasts we haven't done in 10 years. Might be a good one.
Oh, no. What am I doing? Share to a group.
Oh, a whole season. Man. Some updates you should know about. It's probably about those child protection laws. That's a thing.
Is this working? There it is.
Okay. What's up out there, Internet? Well, then I go to Periscope, and there's just simply an error. No other explanation, not an error. Let's not send this to the Pittsburgh Current. That would be awkward. Although, it's an idea. Hey, everybody. I'm not Charlie Deach. But let me tell you about what's going on with my iPhone this week. Maybe I gotta update this. Are we on Facebook?
Yes, because I shared it to a bunch of different groups.
Hello, Facebook. But let me tell you about... Oh, that's doubling up. Okay. Gotta do this one thing. Unfortunately, I don't know until we go live whether this works or not.
Okay.
So that's why it takes a moment. How are you doing over there?
I'm good. I'm looking to buy a new computer, and Amazon has that thing I told you about where they break the payments up.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, they've just gotten rid of it.
What, already?
I don't know. I haven't seen it in forever, and I keep looking up computers, and I can't find a single computer.
A strange experiment or something.
Well, they had it for a while. I just think that they got rid of it because I want to get either a MacBook Pro or a Microsoft Surface because I need to be able to do some editing on the fly. And my laptop, I didn't realize this, but it's not good enough. I went to open up Premiere, and Premiere gave me an error message, and they said, no, your computer sucks.
I'm not sure if you want to Premiere on the Surface.
Surface Pro or laptop?
Maybe a Surface.
I know people who do video editing on.
So you're talking Surface Pro or MacBook Pro, so they should be relatively the same thing.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not looking for the Go.
Ideally.
Yeah, the Microsoft Go, I wouldn't try.
No
to do
Go,
video
just
editing.
the Pro, bro.
Just the Pro, or the laptop, I think the laptop is probably.
I think it's the way to go. I feel like I feel like it would, if I had to choose, if I'm buying a laptop, why would I go with a not Microsoft model right now?
Really? So you would go with Microsoft over the MacBook Pro?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Why is that?
Well, no. If I was going PC.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I'm thinking I'm leaning towards the MacBook because then I can use it with my other Apple stuff. But I'm open if I can get somebody who's hey, you don't have to use, because I'm trying to raise my credit score before I move, so I don't want to charge a laptop or open a line of credit for a laptop because that will then ding my credit score in the opposite direction.
I am finally paying attention to my credit score.
Have you ever used Credit Karma?
I don't know. It's built into this. I don't know. I was pre-approved for a credit card that was actually a real pre-approval for the first time in years, and got a card, and then
I suggest Credit Karma. So I started using it, and I've brought my credit score back from the grave. Like, it was literally like people had already, like at the funeral when people have the shovel of dirt and they shovel it on you at the end. People had already done that. It was like there was grass growing on the plot. And now I've come back like a zombie or like Jesus. I've come back from the dead.
Or zombie Jesus.
Yeah, I basically my credit score is zombie Jesus at least.
Yeah.
So that camera's now in the other camera.
No.
Barely.
Yeah, a little bit. Now you can't see that. Well, I realize I'm looking through the camera. We moved this for something else.
Ah.
There we go. Now I can see it. Now we can have a conversation.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, no, seriously, like my credit score is like zombie Jesus. It's come back from the dead, and it's great. And I owe it all to Credit Karma because they actually look through, based on your credit score, all of the credit cards that work with them, and that's how they make their money. Is these credit card companies pay them to try to get you to
Yeah,
to
now
get their
you're
cards.
going to get all the offers, right?
Yeah, but they send it to you right on the app, and it'll tell you like exactly whether you have a very good audit of approval, medium, whatever, and then like it'll look at your score and tell you what you can do to improve. Like there's this one thing I got to pay off, and I'm just waiting now that I have the Christmas money coming in, where I'll be able to jump my score up by like 40 points for paying something off.
I was excited for a moment because I'm like, oh, we just paid off the car. That means like, that's completely going to help the credit score. Then I realized, oh, that's in Missy's name.
Oh,
I get nothing out of that.
Oh,
Nothing out of that. I have not had a car in my name. Like, one that like my dad got me or something, right?
Yeah.
And fixed up. Like maybe that was put in my name. Actually, maybe not even that. Now I think about it. Like I may have never had a car in my name. So
I don't know. I mean, I've had cars in my name, but it was like always split until now. This is the
but
first
also
car
my
where
credit
it's,
was
like,
always shit. So
yeah, my credit was still shit, but somehow Credit Karma was like, you should use this company, and they'll actually give you a loan. And you know who it was? It was Capital One, and God bless them, because like
that's who I got.
Yeah, well, if anybody has a reason not to trust me, it's Capital One, but for some reason they just keep coming back with more.
Yeah, I remember like you realize we've had some problems in the past, right?
Yeah,
I mean, like
yeah, I'm the one. I'm concerned for them.
We've done this dance. Like I think my wife owes you money, but so
Yeah.
it's hey, do what you can. You know what? Money's not real. Money's not real. It's just a game. It's a structure, just like time. There was a great thing. We were at a show, and Missy had text one of the wrestlers that's on his way, and it's like, hey, are you going to be here? When are you going to be here by X time? Because we want to do like a pre-show podcast.
Oh,
And it was like, time isn't real. Don't worry about it. It's just like this was the greatest response.
wow, that's awesome.
All right. I think we're good. And I'm going to go over to the doc. I lost the doc. No producer Missy this week. She is home ill, or at least recovering, or pre-recovering, or just having any sort of break since we've been on the road since we did a weekend on the road. Well, we did a pre-holiday on the road, and then we did the rest of the weekend on the road. So,
oh wow.
Yeah, there has not really been a day off over this holiday weekend. So my technical day off was driving back from Erie and having from work and having Thanksgiving dinner.
I feel like Erie's not a fun place to
then-
drive home from in this weather and in
well,
this
it wasn't
darkness.
this weather. It was pretty good weather all weekend. So
Okay.
I'm glad I don't have to go to Dayton and Detroit this weekend. I'm glad that got canceled. So I also didn't know Detroit was on the table until over the weekend, and it was just like, oh no, we got somebody else. I was like, oh cool. I mean, darn, it would have been a cool gig, but it's like I'm kind of okay not making that drive this
Yeah.
time of year. Like I am okay just hibernating until March when I start taking trips to Florida.
Yeah.
Whereas like I'm gonna go work in Florida for a couple days, guys.
I can't wait to go back to Florida.
I'm done with this stuff. I went 2 years ago. This time I would like to go in through Orlando and do something.
I will never go through Orlando Airport. And that's a
the
story
airport,
for another
is
day.
the airport bad?
Ooh. It's the worst experience I've ever had in an airport in my life, and it's one of the worst experiences I've had in my life total. So,
okay,
that's a story for another time.
That is for Travel Nightmares Cast.
Yes,
coming soon to Sorgatron Media. Yes. Resser tweets, you guys ever just smack an entire pizza pie and deal with the consequences later? Oh yes.
I already had like 3 or 4 pieces.
Well, they gave us a small one, and I'm just like, well, this is easy for me to just grab a slice and keep working. So
yeah.
And like half a pizza later, I'm like, oh, I should probably slow down. I got the rest of the night, and podcasting makes me hungry.
I cannot read.
That's our quote for the night. Podcasting makes me hungry.
There we go.
Who's out there? I saw Dave Potter is hanging out there.
He's there.
What's up, Dave Potter? What is up, Mom?
A bunch of people have come through on my watch party.
I'm seeing that too on my side.
Yeah.
Mom was on the show last week.
Oh, really? I'll have to check that out.
Mom Sorg is on there talking to us about stuff. We'll kind of throw out the format a little bit. Had some fun. We should probably do a thing then.
Let's do it.
Let's do a thing. Let's get it on.
The only problem with doing a watch party when you don't have like a computer set up like you have is I can't read the comments from the main feed.
I keep doing it. People keep showing up. I don't know if I understand if I'm helping myself or not.
I don't know.
Hey guys, before we get started, if you guys are digging it, what's going on here, please give us a like, a heart, any other emotional icon over there, and that it's going to help us get in front of more people as we get through the show. So as always, I need to get my own version of this because Thrifty always says throw the W's up, hit the likes and throw the W's up.
What's
so
a W?
You feel welcome.
Oh,
so you feel welcome is his thing.
That's interesting.
It's really good.
Yeah.
If anybody's I really love Thrifty's fan interaction situation. Like I think they do a really good job with it, and obviously, I mean they got City Paper best in Pittsburgh.
Oh, did they?
Last
good
year,
for them.
So.
See how much she sees how much I pay attention to that kind of
stuff. Dude, I just unsubscribed. I don't know how many Pittsburgh. I'm on an unsubscribing spree right now. Let's start the show. All
right, let's do it.
Let's do the thing. It's 20 after. Holy shit! Damn it. That's okay. I only got one guest coming in physically tonight. Otherwise. All right. It's time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast 473. And I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on Twitter here in the Beachview studio, Sorgatron Media. It's cold. It's snowy. We're just making sure all the heaters work. Where are our cozy holes that we can just hide in and watch Star Wars and Baby Yoda? With me, also keeping warm. Speaking of Star Wars, he's decking his halls with a Darth Vader vest over there. I'm sorry,
nothing
sweater.
says warm and Christmas like Darth Vader wearing a scarf.
That's right. It's the dark side.
Merry.
It's the dark side of Pittsburgh because it's sundown at 4:30. So I know you're the night shift guy, so you see even less of the sun, if any. So
it's awful. I really hate when it gets dark like this. That's my number one grievance about winter is the absolute darkness and how it just isn't light out at all. And even when it is light out, it doesn't feel light.
It's just like you're just here and you just have the lights and it is.
Can you imagine Alaska where they have like months of darkness?
Can't imagine. It's definitely an emotional toll. But anyways, we're hopefully we can brighten things up for you here on the AwesomeCast. Please go check out awesomecast.com where you can subscribe and find past episodes, and you can tune in to last week's episode where going into Thanksgiving we had Mom Sorg on the show. As well. We were talking about her AutoCADing days, and she's still AutoCADing and drafting and things like that. And we talked about a lot of stuff there. It was a really good conversation we had. So go check that out in the last episode. And of course, you can hit us up on the email awesomecast@sorgatronmedia.com. Tweet us at AwesomeCast. AwesomeCast on the Facebook page and group, and the group has a lot of great conversation, including stories that we do tend to include in the show. A little light this week because, well, it's the holiday weekend. the news is Black Friday mostly, and whether it's good, sucks, or indifferent. But so we found a few things that we scraped up for conversation here today. And you can also ask your Google Home and your Google Music podcasts, Amazon Echo, Siri HomePod, to listen to the podcast. I just actually started doing the Google Home thing at home for reasons we'll talk about in a moment. And of course, we're live here every Tuesday on Facebook Live at 7 p.m. Eastern. And if you're catching us later on one of our other outlets, or you have some comments, or just want to tell us what we got wrong on this episode, please tweet us at AwesomeCast with the hashtag AC473. And thank you to our audio partners, our friends at the 405media.com that are carrying us on their live stream every weekday at noon Eastern time, I do believe. And of course, Post-Industrial Audio, postindustrial.com, that's sharing a lot of the great Pittsburgh podcasts, including us. Thank you for sharing that with the people. And also thank you to our Patreon supporters, definitely helping to push the show. Our friends at patreon.com/awesomecast, at the Coffee Club $5, Matt Weller, John Diggy DeGore, and John Carmen. At the Fan of the Show $1 level, our longest running Patreon supporter, Michael Fedor, and pghmuseums.org as well, supporting the show. Love it. Go check out that PGH Museums. And we talked about that about a month ago on the show, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
And things are going pretty good over there. Oh, hey, let's touch base on that. How is PGH Museums going a month later?
It's good, yeah. So we have a few more members, and we just added. Well, I have to send out the form, but Ketchup City Creative is going to be joining our affiliation program, so that's great. So another.
Do they
affiliate.
make things with ketchup?
They don't. No, it's a gallery. It's a really cool space out in Sharpsburg.
Also cool.
Yeah, I met the owner out in Etna, so that's why that's where this picture is. This awesome picture of me with like these teddy bears.
Oh, is that where that came from?
That's where that came from this coffee shop out in Etna when I was meeting the owner from Ketchup City Creative. But yeah, so it's going. We came up with an awesome video from Kennywood. I don't know if you saw that about the holiday lights, which was really, really cool. And I actually got to talk with Nick Paradise, who runs their PR and social media there, and we took some awesome footage of people actually setting up the display. So if you're on your way to Kennywood, you can watch that video and kind of see. That's where this picture is. This awesome picture that goes into teddy bears. Preparing for the holiday lights display. And we also answer some burning questions, one of which is how many light bulbs does it take to make Kennywood a Christmas paradise? How many extension cords, how long the extension cords go to make that all happen?
Good high weather, winter, dealing.
Yeah. So that's a lot of the stuff that you can expect from us going forward. We're going to be rolling off in December, mid to late December, an artist interview, and it's going to come out every other week. We're going to call it the PGH Art Talk. And so that's coming. We are also going to be coming out with more of this behind-the-scenes stuff. That's going to probably come out more in 2020. So yeah, lots of good stuff coming. And the calendar's awesome. I posted a picture recently of the calendar where there were 7 things you could do on a Thursday night. And I said, don't come to us and tell us you're bored, because that's great. How many times can you find a calendar, even like with the major media markets, with that many options on it? So
awesome. Yeah. Great stuff happening there. The party looked like it was great.
Yeah, the party was fun.
Yeah, so go check out pghmuseums.org. So let's get into our awesome things of the week. So my awesome thing is kind of internet.
He's joined the 21st century.
Just a recap, and I've mentioned this several times on the show, of course, but I had managed to I disconnected the internet when we moved up here to the studio some 2.5 years ago, because I was like, well, I don't need a lot of internet there. We're basically going to be here all the time because we're building the business, and it's become kind of a thing. Well, and it's been like, I almost got internet a couple months ago because I went to get some security cameras up because there's some weird stuff's happening in the neighborhood. Yeah. I mean, we've had the incidents before. They've had video up before with old bad neighbors that we've talked about. But and there was actually even an incident where somebody did something really weird on my porch a few weeks ago. So if you follow me on my personal social media, you may have seen that. And I'm like, well, if I had internet when I was going to sign up for it like 2 months ago, we would have gotten them.
Yeah.
We would have gotten footage of them to proceed. And it's not some mysterious thing that happened. So no, Monday they installed. And again, everything was already run. We had it before. We went back to FiOS. They have 100 up and down, 100 up, 100 down, which is I think we got 150 here, and it's like half the price because it's not a business account. So it makes the difference.
It's crazy.
But you're like, hey, no, I live here. Can I just have? No, okay. So it sucks that I got to pay for that, but also I'm finding ways to slim down my AT&T wireless account, so that'll it'll end up a wash in the end, I think. But we were living on our unlimited phones and everything, but still like not being able to like just hook up an Apple TV or my Xbox. So I took home the Xbox One from the studio. I took one of the Google Homes, and we have another one in a box I'll still put somewhere in the house. Through the Google Home in the bathroom this morning, and set that up. I was playing Apple TV, have the Wisecam set up, and I the cool thing with that is now I kind of have a connected home and found new features in Google Home while I was at it. Because as I was setting up, and this is a kind of layout here, you can see all the devices and groups, and if you guys are on the video side. So this is a Sorgatron Mia. We got the TV Chromecast. I'll throw my old Chromecast on the TV at home. We have an office speaker, and then we have a couple of security cameras. So, and then when we go home, and this is going to expand, of course, it was like, hey, here's your Wise cameras, and then here is my Xbox now connected. I got to figure out what that does, but it's connected to Google Home somehow. Which I didn't. It was kind of like, you go in there and it's like, oh, hey, you want to sign in with your Xbox account, and we'll connect that. Okay. Hey, do you want to sign in with your Roku account? And it'll work with that too. So it's kind of expanding out and just stuff that I already have around. Like, I know it's probably just seeing other apps on my phone is my guess, and says, hey, I see you have this over here. Do you want to sign in for your account? And we can kind of roll on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So that was kind of the cool thing. And with that, I was able to say, Google, what was something like, show my front porch on my office TV. And it pulled up on my office TV the camera of the front of my house.
Yeah.
So which I can do vice versa at home. I can be like, hey, show me the studio, and it's gonna pull up a security camera. I can see, and because sometimes I'll pull that up on my phone to be like, hey, is somebody there that Missy's waiting for a meeting, and I'm like, well, I'll wait till the meeting's done or something, and I can just kind of peek in and see what's going on.
So how many Google Homes do you have?
We have 3. 2 are connected.
Okay. One thing that I really enjoy, so like I have a lot of the Alexas and things like that, and I have a small ecosystem. I don't have the cameras. I was going to, but now that I'm moving to a complex, I don't think it makes much sense.
No.
But one thing that I really do, the 3 things that I use the most is with the Echo Cube. I like to be able to turn my TV on and everything without actually touching the remote.
This is all one thing, because it's a TV device, right?
It is, yeah. So it connects through the HDMI, but you can turn the TV on. You can actually raise and lower the volume with the TV. You can really connect to anything with it. You can open up apps. So I use that, but I also use the lights on and off in my bedroom, which is great, especially when at wintertime, whenever you wake up and it's pitch black and you can just have the lights turn on from the voice. It makes it easier to get out of bed. But the other thing that I really use is because I have right now, let me think. 1, 2, 3. I have 4 Alexas in my small house.
That's the A train.
The A train.
So we're not waking up everybody else.
That's right. Yeah. So I have 4 of the A trains going, and they're all connected. So when I want to play music, or if I want to listen to a talk show or something, a podcast, it'll play on all speakers, and I can walk throughout the house and seamlessly listen to everything that's going on. And to me, that's like the greatest feature.
That's what I would call house cleaning mode. It's a weird thing that I just want to. I and it's never always matching, but it's like I want to turn on the TV or radio on every floor, and they might not even be a match thing, but at least something is happening while I'm cleaning and something's going on. So that's kind of been my thing. But now that you can do this and just say, hey, turn on the group. We would do it here because we had the one here on the desk and one over there. Yeah. And we say, hey, play so-and-so in Office. And it would play it across all the devices. It fills the room a bit more. Yeah. I don't think it's completely necessary for us in this not in this large room, space in this studio space. But it was kind of a nice kind of experiment with that and see how that goes. But now I can do that and say, play on home setup, and it's just going to fill the entire house with, at least the 2 that we have. I'm sure I'll get some more devices in the near future. I'm even looking to get some A-Trains, so we have that at home as well.
Yeah.
So, and they're like $22 right now.
They even actually they are actually selling a mini version of the Echo Show for $50 right now.
Really?
Yeah, on Amazon.
Really?
And
I don't think if I get a screen, I think I want to get the Google Home.
Okay.
Like I want to get that. I want to get the Nest, but I also want to get a Ring doorbell. Unless there's a Google alternative that people would prefer. I'm open to suggestions
that
there.
opens up an interesting conversation, and since we have time to
Since
fill
there's
today,
no stories, we're going to have the longest Awesome Thing of the Weeks ever.
Yes. I was listening to NPR, and they brought up an interesting point, and it's something that I've actually observed prior to this episode coming out, and it has to do with the Ring cameras and the negative effects of it.
Yes.
So I think with the Wyze cameras, obviously you're not going to have those same negative effects, but with the Ring cameras, they have that community that is called Neighbors, I believe it's called. And basically you can go on and rat on people on social media, and then everybody gets up in an uproar thinking that there's villains on every corner.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's adding a tool to your next door or your community Facebook groups, which I think both of us have had experiences in the negative in those groups, and positive too, to be fair. But unfortunately, they do just turn into giant rant fests, I guess. So that just adds like ammunition to it.
Well, this one lady had a situation where she had somebody doing something odd on her porch, and I guess the way they position these cameras with the Rings in particular is it looks up at a person to make them look intimidating, so that way you're more likely to share it and be up in arms and worried.
It's just the nature of it. It's a doorbell. It's where the doorbell is.
Sure.
Right?
But what she did is she posted it, and it got spread all over the place in the community, and then here this guy was shot by the police because they were even worked up thinking that this guy is suspicious.
Who is this guy? Yeah.
And I think that's a concern. I know somebody who is a comedian who just had literally the police took his picture and put it on social media as a suspicious person because he knocked on the wrong door. And they got his picture from the camera. All he did is go on the wrong door and knock. So now you're living in a world where you are almost afraid to go visit somebody for the first time because you could be.
I mean, we've had issues where one of our good friends that was on the show when we were at the old studio was in the basement of our house.
Yeah.
And what did I say? Whenever you came over, I was like, listen, this is the house. Go in the fence and come around to the back and go ahead through the back door in the basement.
Yeah.
So he did that, but he had the wrong street.
Oh no.
So I'm like, and this is like MMA tattooed guy that's coming knocking on some stranger's back window, and it was just like, oh no, that's not cool.
But I worry about that with the social media element. Like so you have your cameras, and that's a little bit different because you're not online sharing them to the rest of Beachview.
No. I mean, if something happens, I'll be like, look at this thing that happened. Like when I had a confrontation on my front porch,
something legitimate.
Or we had these people taking the shredded paper we had aside.
Yeah,
that was
so weird.
It was. Well, you said Missy got a shredder and a paper shredder, and we're like, okay, well, we'll just hold on to it, and then in the spring we can use it as mulch.
Yeah.
So we just had these bags of paper just sitting on our porch, and because we really didn't have anywhere else to put it at the time.
I wasn't saying you're weird. I was saying it was weird that somebody would.
Okay, but that's weird. Like, I feel like people were like, well, why was shredded paper on your porch? I was like, well, there's the thing too. But and somebody had taken all of those, and there's probably like 6 to 8 bags of them, and they just like ripped them open in place. It just was a mess. So that was a thing. But again, like I would have had a camera and be like, hey, does anybody know who these kids? Missy was like, hey, why do you keep saying it's kids? I'm like, because I don't want to believe it's anything but just, kids being kids. You know what I mean? Because it seems so weird compared to all the things that could have happened with what's on there. It just, that's my thought. But again, other than that, but it takes a bit for me to do that. I got to go in the app and pull up the clip and then download that clip, record the clip, it's a whole process to do it.
Well, not to get too dark, but and I don't think that it's going in this, the objective isn't to go in this direction. I'm not accusing Amazon and Ring of being like super evil, but back in like Nazi Germany, that was the most effective tool that they used to finding people who they thought, were Jews to put them in concentration camps is they got their neighbors to rat on them. And we're living in a world now where, with these cameras, especially with the social media element, where people are calling out people and trying to like patrol their neighborhood in a way that's almost like terrifying. Again, it's not the same. They're not throwing people in concentration camps, but
No.
you are like my one friend who was on Facebook under a police department. It wasn't like it was just Joe Schmo sharing his picture. A police department shared his picture as a suspicious person because he knocked on the wrong door. And it wasn't even going into the basement like you're talking about. It was someone's front door. He knocked on the wrong door and left. And now he's a suspect from the police. It's crazy.
It's a suspicious and actually cause for suspicion, I guess, is other than, I don't know who this person is at my door. It's like, well, I got people knocking on my door all the time trying to sell me energy packages. Yeah. And then I had to yell at one because they wouldn't get off my property. I was trying to leave, and I was like, you need to step off now because I'm not doing this right now.
My dad was once referred to as the White Satan by the Jehovah's Witnesses. Because they kept coming, and he threatened to call the police.
Get a no soliciting. Get a no soliciting sign. That's what I did. It says no soliciting. Don't make things weird.
Yeah.
It was the best one I could find on Amazon. Actually, Dave Greenwald of the Comic Book Pit podcast suggested that. And he's like, I did that. It was the greatest thing. I don't get anybody. I'm like,
That's
good.
Great.
I'm just like, I'm never home. And I just happened to be home and happened to be walking out the walk up to the office when this guy walked up. And it was just like, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. Anyways, so I have internet, and that's cool. Also, it might also mean I'm not here nearly as late as I bring some homework with me and can let my computer sit there and render the podcast and finish that off. So I'm looking forward to that kind of, interconnectedness between locations, and I can just do the work and, obviously video work I have to do here, attach all the drives and the nice computer and everything. But raccoon? Oh, no, raccoon would have done. There's no food. Everybody said raccoon.
They think the raccoon is
There's no food. The way they shredded it.
paper.
This is somebody actively doing this. It had to have been, especially
what a weird thing to do. What a weird form of vandalism.
I know. Well, somebody else that very night had was home and had their.
When was this again?
This is whenever I went to North Carolina.
So it wasn't near Halloween, was it?
3 weeks ago. It was like mid-November.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could see that as like a Halloween thing almost.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah.
Somebody had their grill thrown off their porch.
Oh, so that's serious.
So, yeah, that's a little more serious. A charcoal box and all that stuff. So, anyways, hey, what is your awesome thing, sir?
So my awesome thing is a bed, actually.
Yay! Because you don't get enough sleep.
I don't get enough sleep.
First of all,
with this bed, you might be getting a little too much sleep.
Mm-hmm.
It is a bed that is set to protect people from earthquakes. And it's a really interesting bed. It's raised up high. It's got a big platform, and you understand why in a small mattress.
We'll pull the footage up here in a moment.
And in the event of an earthquake, the mattress will fold in on itself, and then you'll be in that box that is the frame, and it'll seal shut to protect you from death during an earthquake. But it's not just and it's crazy, and it's not just a secure coffin for you.
George Jetson situation.
It does, and it's like a coffin almost, but it's not.
Hold on, go again.
It's crazy. Yeah, if you look at it again, you'll see it just folds right in.
These CG recreations are really interesting too. So I guess there's a couple different versions of these. Yeah, it's just like it just drops you in a box.
Drops you in a box, and then it's sealed. If you look at it, it's a pretty sturdy box. And then below, if you're looking at the video, there's supplies and rations to protect you until you're discovered. So there's
different versions of this.
Yes,
I see. Like one has there's walls around you on the bed, and basically the ceiling drops on you. And then the other one is again, it just turns. It's like you're in a. It's like you're in a. That's interesting. So they have security sensors to detect if you're over the edge. It won't drop you down.
Oh, so you're dead then.
Yeah. So it won't sever your head and drop that down.
Well, a lot of these.
it looks like a trap.
It does. It looks like something that you would see in some sort of video game or something. They have different rations in there, water, there's different food items as well. My question is there liquor? Because are you going to want to be stuck in a box for who knows how many days without
How are you going to go to the bathroom?
That's a good point too. My thing is here's the question really to think about. Do you want to survive? being stuck in a box for days, is that worth surviving an earthquake, or are you just kind of like, take me now, I'm done?
No, these are all CG. If you guys are not audio, these are like CG recreations of what these beds would be. I presume this is kind of a concept. The company says it's ready to sell you one of these beds. ... It's one of those for about $3,000.
Yeah. They're it's a Chinese invention.
I couldn't tell by the animations on here.
Yeah. So yeah, it's from China. I actually, in some ways though, I think this could be really beneficial in certain areas. I look at like California, for example. They have so many different earthquakes and things like that. Hell, Pennsylvania, if we keep fracking, we might need these too. So,
not to get political or environmental.
Yeah, environmental science too. So. But yeah, I do. I think this is interesting. I just don't know if I would, depending on how quick the response time is. I imagine if I'm in a massive earthquake, it's gonna be a while before they get to me.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. But at least you have a chance, right? You're not.
But do you want a chance? Like, I don't know. I'm a little claustrophobic. I don't know if I'd want to be living in a box like that and eating military rations, because I'm sure that's what they have, or canned food, because.
Our friend Steve from the Bold Pittsburgh Sports Podcast says, I kind of wanted one for years, but I have a fear of being buried alive.
Basically, that's what would happen, because if a building's falling down around you, you're going to be underneath all the rubble.
Just like you're not crushed.
It is essentially a coffin.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
So Dave Ponders of Tiny Shutter Podcast says, it looks like someone would do in the 80s against bombs, other than, hide under the chair.
Oh yeah, that actually that would be interesting. I could see. Actually, that's what these people need to do. The Chinese inventor, if he really wants to make a profit, then he needs to modify these for doomsday preppers, radiation fallout. Put it in a bomb shelter. That way, if the shelter gets breached, then you just fall into the bed. That is really a key market, especially in the United States, rural America. My goodness, people will be buying these things left and right.
He says, Steve also says to you, living is always the key. I'll take smelling and doing what I have to survive. I'll never toss in the game.
I'm tossing
He's a survivalist.
I'm not.
Where he's like, it's not worth it. I'm done. Nope. Crush me.
However, if there was a light in there and...
Can I get my Netflix? Is there?
You know what? That's actually a good point. So if I could get
amenities.
You raise a good point, Sorg. If I can get the amenities right, if I can have my alcohol, if there's a little light in there, I can watch Netflix. Can I also get Disney Plus, because I'm really into the Mandalorian show right now? If I can get that, okay. If I can get all of those, sign me up. Can I go into it now? Just escape from everybody, hide in there, and pretend I'm dying and wait for someone to come find me?
I'm a technology vampire. I call it a tactical bed and it will sell.
Yes.
I love it. You're going to see one of these as a what was it? I was just playing Call of Duty and it came back to me. When you have like the modifiers where you can like do the bomb drops and everything and the drones while you're shooting things up.
Which is this again?
Call of Duty.
Oh, okay. So I don't video game.
Score streaks, I guess. Like the score streak is one of these beds just drops and you get into it and wait until the thing's over.
That's cool. This actually could be useful in like an apartment too. And looking at the fact that there's different styles, you could actually almost set this up like a Murphy bed up against the wall.
Steve is with you on the booze part though.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. I'm glad you guys can find some common ground. Slice, hey, you know what else? Some common ground. You know what should be in there? Do I got Slice and Broadway in my bomb shelter bed? That's the question of the night.
That's a good point.
Do I have?
Do they deliver to that?
Will they deliver? Listen, Slice. I know that we've given you some really good ideas over the years, including the drone pizza delivery for our friends in Seattle and California. And things like that. And also, we're sorry for that thing about kicking your door down. We were excited. But I'm saying there's this tactical bed thing happening because we just ran into that. And when the earthquake happens, you got to say, where's my earthquake pizza? Where's the perfect pepperoni pizza for Pittsburgh podcasting and doomsday prep?
Well, it's like that commercial for that sub. If you remember where people are trying to stop the fire and they don't call the fire department, they don't call the police, they call the sub company. I'll be there buried under an earthquake, and somebody, I'll have like some sort of walkie or something because like this whole bed is like really souped up in technology, and somebody will be like, oh, call the fire department. I said, no, I'm calling Slice. I need someone here now. I need someone I can depend on, someone who will drive through the rubble, someone who will walk over fallen debris, someone who will put their life on the line to bring me the perfect pepperoni slice, and no one else can do that but Slice on Broadway.
Slice on Broadway. Go check them out. SliceOnBroadway.com in Beachview, Carnegie, PA, the east end of Pittsburgh, and PNC Park, the now dormant PNC Park. It's not dormant because Aquaman's shooting a movie over there.
Oh, really?
Last I knew. So, home of the Pittsburgh Pirates. So go check them out, SliceOnBroadway.com. Also, want to give a shout to our friend Chachi. He's doing a lot of stuff over there on the 1001 Games Journey, thegamejourney.com. He's up to Dragon Quest, Dragon Warrior, depending on what country you're in. He's hitting some Tecmo Super Bowl. He's on the Nintendo's Tetris. He's doing reviews. He's trying to hit 1001 games from this book that has plagued him for so many years. Kid Icarus, California Games. I wonder if Earthquake Beds are a part of that game. Mario 3, all the classics. Relive them along with Chachi and break out your own emulator too. Go check out thegamesjourney.com. Shout out, see what's going on with him lately. He's been really, really getting into that. So I am going to we'll hold on to that bit because I know we did have a little submission, but I did not really. I just got it before the show, so we didn't go deep into it. Hey, Snapcrap. Let me tell you about Snapcrap.
Oh, I've seen this.
You've seen this?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, this is hilarious.
So we had, I believe this was being told to me by one of our compatriots on the Dial It Down podcast that we were filming our episode of last week. And Snapcrap is an app that invites San Francisco residents to report poop on the city streets.
Yeah, so this is actually really important. I don't know if you've seen this.
The
story is based on what's going on in San Francisco.
What's going on? Enlighten us. What is going on in San Francisco?
So actually, there's a huge homelessness problem in San Francisco right now, and people are openly defecating.
And a lot of us know about it because a lot of us listen to tech podcasts in California.
Yeah.
So they talk about. I know a lot about what happens in California.
Yes.
So
yeah. So they're defecating. There's also a lot of needles that can be found. People are. Like in preschools, people are teaching their kids to watch out for dirty needles because they're just everywhere.
Are the needles in the poop?
I don't know that they're together.
Is this?
But there was one report from a local newscaster in San Francisco where the guy literally dropped his pants and took a dump in the middle of the street right in front of the cameraman. Like there's just no shame in some of the areas. And it's not. Apparently, it's not every street, but there's like a certain part of the city where it's really bad. And it's so bad that they had an expert on. I wish I had the article in front of me. They had an expert on who has studied impoverished areas, and really they said certain parts of San Francisco are worse than the worst third world cities.
Wow.
It's bad.
And this is where people are being priced out there.
Yeah.
It is really like the technological center of the United States. And this is the thing that's happening. But the app is Snapcrap. Oh, I hit the wrong thing. It's over here. It's Snapcrap. Take a picture of poop. I think this is like the PGH 311 app. But I'm playing some other video down here. But it is like, hey, there's a problem here. Somebody clean up this poop. And I'm sure the city, this is such a big problem. The city has task for that. Man, I'm looking at that logo. Somebody's going to get sued for that.
Yeah.
It is entirely the Snapchat theme to it.
It's a great idea, though. I mean, they really do need to do something to start addressing this. One of the problems is I know that there's a lot of struggles as far as how to fix the problem. I know there's been a lot of controversy about the way the city government is planning to address it. What worries me, though, is what happened in Seattle, where they have a similar problem. Not so much, I haven't heard of any issues with open defecation, but they've had issues with homelessness because of primarily Amazon that's moved in and priced a lot of people out. And the city passed a tax to make big companies like Amazon pay a tax to help stop the homelessness crisis and find housing for people and things like that. And Amazon beat the tax. They were more powerful than the government. I guess they've since decided that they're going to help and do something because the public shaming was so bad. But it's crazy. Something needs to be done. And really, San Francisco, it's a shame. I really have always wanted to visit San Francisco. And then after hearing these reports, I thought, well, maybe I'll wait a few years to see if they can clean it up first.
I've been out there it was literally my first plane trip was to San Francisco, visiting some in-laws who moved out there. And it's sorry, I'm trying to type bunker bombshell pizza to slice on Broadway right now because that came up from Amanda in the chat. But yeah, and the homeless problem was visible, very visible and uncomfortable. Portland was too. And I understand it's only gotten worse since.
And let's just also say that this city isn't that much better. If you remember, we might be better as far as a problem. It might not be as big of a problem, but it still is a problem here. And if you remember, it was back, this was a few mayors ago, back when Bob O'Connor was here. If you remember, when we brought the All-Star game to Pittsburgh, instead of solving the homeless problem, their solution was to literally huddle them up into internment camps so that way they wouldn't show up on national television. Mm-hmm. That's how we handle our homeless here in Pittsburgh. So we're really no better.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
It's sad. You know, you get people, a lot of these homeless people are veterans because they have come and they're dealing with issues like post-traumatic stress disorder and things like that, and that's why they've often made a decision to live on the streets. And instead of getting these people help, at least our solution in Pittsburgh was to huddle them into camps and keep them off camera. And it's really, disrespectful to the people. Like I said, a lot of these people were veterans, and it's disrespectful for the service that they've done.
Absolutely. Still something we need to solve around here.
Yeah.
Turning it back around on this, everything, man, I don't have a good transition to anything we have on the lineup here because everything just sounds like me being an asshole in comparison.
I'm excited about the Black Friday.
Black Friday! Nearly 40% of online Black Friday purchases were made with phones. You know, they only buy a couple things on my Black Friday, and you know what I use to buy them?
Your phone.
An Xbox 360.
Really?
So
that's an unusual option.
I will poke at the Black Friday deals on the Xbox store. Last year, that's where I picked up like all the fighting games I've been meaning to play. Okay. Because it was the first year. I think it was the first year I had an Xbox One, and I got like Mortal Kombat 10, Injustice 2, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and I paid maybe $25 for for all of them. This year, I only spent $12, and I picked up Final Fight, the old beat 'em up, because I really like that game, and I have a really good Sega CD version that I can't play anywhere. What I get, NBA Jam on Fire Edition. I've been playing on my phone, and there was one more, Strider. There was a remake of Strider they did a few years ago. Apparently, it's like a side scroller but 3D kind of thing. Huh. So it's just just little like quick play games that I love arcade games and stuff that I can just jump into and not think about every once in a while.
That makes sense, yeah. I did buy on my phone for Black Friday. I bought a gift for my sister on Amazon.
I bought puppy pads.
There you go.
On my phone.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I think shopping online on the phone is easier than shopping online on the computer. I do. And me, I'm more of a computer person than a phone person when it comes to a lot of things. But when it comes to online shopping, you can just scroll, and it's much easier just to see things than to try to like move the mouse and tap the button or use that. It's just very intuitive to do it right from the phone. So I think that's one of the reasons.
And it depends on what it is. Like with the Amazon, it's like, I'm just going to pull up the barcode and there you go.
Well, that's true too.
Or even if I have to go to a Walmart, like I don't go into a Walmart looking for something. Because with the traveling, it's like, okay, we need to run into this Walmart and get a thing we need for this shoot, right? Like tape or something, right? Who knows? Or something for the DVD tape or something small. And it's like, okay, I don't know where they put the hardware aisle in this Walmart. You pull up the Walmart app, and Target does this too, and it's just like tape pulls up everything. You see the thing. You see they have all the aisles labeled now. And it's
Target was like that years and years ago.
Yeah, they did it first. Yeah, but Walmart perfected it.
Oh, did they?
For sure, it's a lot more user friendly.
Well, I mean, as far as a consumer goes, but as far as an employee, I know when I worked at Target, they would tell you the aisle, but then it would tell you how many shelves down, how many shelves up, and then how many spaces over on the shelf.
Yeah, so they really just kind of opened that up to the users in the app.
Yeah.
We're like, hey, this is how we restock. Well, instead of having everybody wander around, why don't we just say, hey, K22? But all you get is the aisle.
On Targets, you mean?
On I think on both of them.
Okay.
So it's like, hey, I'm in K22, but I'm looking for this tape. Where is it? 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 You know, and you're spending like most of the time still looking down an entire side of an aisle looking for that small thing you're looking for.
Yeah, see, that's a shame because they could make it more specific. At least I know with Target, because I know when I worked there, and this was back, like, so what, I've been at my current job for 5 years, 6, 7, 8. It was almost 10 years ago when I worked at Target, and even then, I could scan any item in the store, and it would tell me the aisle, how many shelves down, how many shelves up, how many spaces over. It was just, and then I could even then click a button to look and see the exact location at other stores in the region as well, which was really nice.
It's always interesting because these reports are also coming from Adobe shopping data. Adobe does a lot of data mining.
Yeah,
apparently.
That's interesting.
So there's like reports like this come from Adobe every once in a while.
I wonder where they do that, because I'm thinking, like, as far as using Adobe products, they don't really see what you're using.
No, they're just like, there is somewhere where they're just mining data.
Okay.
Like this, and polls and things like that. 39% officially of online Black Friday purchases were made with smartphones. That's a jump from last year's 33%.
I'm surprised it's not higher, to be honest, because a lot of people do not own computers anymore. They just own phones and tablets because they really don't need one. My friend...
Well, we're saying smartphones. We're not
saying
saying grandma
well.
with a tablet.
Okay.
I mean, I think if you start rolling that in, you look at the I mean, where do we put the line of computer, right?
Well, technically they're all computers, but it's not the standard sit at home with the mouse and keyboard.
Smartphone or something like that.
I feel like people with an actual, like, 'cause even my grandparents, they got rid of the computer and went to the tablet, because then they could sit in the living room with one another and use the tablet.
We were so close. I just kind of had this, not that I usually do on Thanksgiving, but I had this like stand of like, I will not be going into a Walmart or anything on Thanksgiving because I think
good. I don't think they should be open.
Well, the problem is, then we needed to get a pie for dinner, and we ran into the Walmart. I did not. But my wife did. So, also we had our Thanksgiving dinner with my immediate family Tuesday afternoon because they work with Walmart. So it's like, well, there goes your Thanksgiving, and it's always been an issue. But it's so yeah. She went in and it was amazing because I'm like, how was it in there? Because it was probably like 4-ish maybe, so it wasn't like doorbuster time.
Yeah.
But like there was like a cop car outside. She's like, yeah, there's like 3 cops in there with guns. I guess they always do.
Wow. Yeah.
But there's also a table in there trying to get me to take free coffee. I was like, oh, that's nice.
Should have taken the coffee.
I was like, you should have brought me some coffee. But and it was also, this is like Moon, right? It's like going to be I don't know. Is it the more dangerous because it's all the soccer moms, or is it? That's
a good question, because it's the
worse?
Black Friday time. It's not like a stereotypical.
It's like where do the worst stories come from? And it's probably the suburbs, than the worst neighborhoods. But anyways,
I tried to buy something for Cyber Monday, and it was on this one website, and they had this big banner at the top of the website, 25% off store-wide. But then everything I looked at buying was excluded. I gave up. I ended up not buying anything.
Right, because there's
everything was excluded.
And I'm seeing reports like, don't buy the Black Friday Nintendo Switch. It's the old version with like 2 hours less of battery.
Well, that's good. That's what I need if it's cheap.
Yeah,
because I'm not gonna play it enough to need the long battery.
Wait, it wasn't really a deal. It was still like $300 worth of game. Okay. Which is just like, I think we've done this before.
However, I saw a laptop while I was scrolling from Dell that had a 24-hour battery life.
What? Was it like a Chromebook or something?
No,
but also, you gotta watch, man. And I remember this back in the day because I remember there was something. I think my dad got a settlement or something, and like everybody got a TV. We Black Friday'd, everybody got a new computer, but they were all like the HPs, like the HP Pavilions that they had there, and you could tell like whenever you looked it up for service, you can tell, and somebody was just talking about like the laptops were like this too. They're like the bare minimum Black Friday version when you get the deal.
Yeah.
Right? They're just like, oh, everything's turned down. There's not as much RAM. You can tell like this one
was pretty souped up though.
Yeah.
It was not a cheap computer. It was like over $2,000.
Well, I'm saying like Walmart's.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This was direct from Dell.
They
on the
have
website.
Special packages that they push. And it's very interesting to see those kinds of things.
I always loved it when I worked at Kmart and they would run a deal on Matchbox cars where it was 10 for $10, yet they sold them regular price 99 cents.
Mm-hmm.
So they rose the price a penny and called it a deal.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Apple's deals. It's not really that great.
Dave Ponder said that my deal sounds like Macy's. He's right. They were all like that. The only one I think that doesn't do that is Kohl's, where they just like whatever it is, it is.
We returned something to, what was it, to Amazon? Yeah, I think it was an Amazon return.
Yeah, do it through Kohl's.
Yeah,
every time you get a 25% off coupon for
which
anything
we didn't
in the
use
store.
We were like, I don't need anything. I don't even know what to do with this right now.
Buy a pair of pants.
Buy a pair of pants.
That's what I did.
I guess so.
Always use an extra pair of jeans.
Yeah, it was just like a random thing. Or just like, well, you can return the Kohl's, and
I will only return through Kohl's now because of that.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because why not? You get free money.
Mm-hmm. And it's straight because you walk in, because we are the ones in South Hills, and you walk in and we're like, well, where do I do this? And you'll see signs for Amazon returns, and then there's just like this desk on the corner of an aisle, and there's a lady there will come along eventually, and it's just like, wait. Is this lady just doing Amazon returns? Do they get that many Amazon returns?
They do, because you know what? They're the most convenient. Because have you tried returning something at the UPS store? Oh my God, you go in there and it's a pain. You have to wait, and then once you get to the thing, they want to charge you money to put it in a box. Whereas Kohl's will just send it out for you. They wanted to charge me money to return my item.
Ponder saying Kohl's was crazy on Black Friday. Carmen saying that he got a $220 tent for $75.
Oh, wow.
There you go. There's your Black Friday wins right there.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Apple a moment ago.
I only buy 3 gifts.
3 gifts?
That's it.
I've been anti-gift lately. I'm just like, I've been just not Christmasing a lot.
Well, I never do it until the last minute.
Yeah, it's just...
I'm waiting until my paycheck because I got a big pay coming. So
yeah,
all of it's going to
tough. December is very tough for me.
Yeah.
On a few different levels. So.
Why do we really need to give gifts though? Like I would be happy if we all just like met for dinner. You know what I mean? Like another Thanksgiving.
Like a Friendsgiving.
Yeah, like I don't well, first off, I don't buy friends gifts, and I tell them that right off the bat. I said, you know, if you want to get me a gift, that's on you. Expect nothing in return.
I'm the worst. I always want to have a holiday party here at the studio. Then I think about like now, and it's like, oh, it's too late to plan a holiday party.
Why not?
Everybody has plans.
So what? Whoever shows up, shows up.
That's true.
Make it a potluck type of a deal. No gifts
up.
allowed.
I haven't even put my tree up. I think I'm going to throw my tree away.
A little bit of whatever over there, a little bit of fuzz, whatever that's called, that red thing.
What are you what red thing?
The red thing, the fuzz. There's
what
a
are
fuzz.
You pointing at? Are you pointing at the thing on Shawn Michaels?
Yeah.
With the hearts?
Yes, that must be it. He's got the fuzz around his neck. That's Christmassy looking. I'll come wearing my sweater.
He's just a sexy boy. I had another story here. Somebody apparently has taken the Swift development tools and have developed so you can have an old school iPod, you know, with the click wheel and everything.
Yes.
On your iPhone. Whoa, that got weird.
People don't realize how cool that was. The wheel.
Why isn't it playing? We'll play now. There you go. That is looks like an iPhone, you know, one of the new iPhone 10, 11 models of some sort, and it does have the, you know, you're kind of sliding at the top of the album covers, but it's got the click wheel. If I had the sound on, you hear the clicks on this when they go to adjust.
That's really cool.
So yeah, fun little interface, nice little throwback. There was somebody, we were live streaming something up on Allentown for it was like something on the hilltop. It was like a skeeter kind of thing, and with RE360, and the main attraction for the night, he actually was, all of his music for his songs that he sang to were on a classic iPod.
Oh, that's cool.
So you'd say, all right, I'm going to play this track next, because it was a really kind of loose affair, and you just like, and you see him going and queuing up his next track, and you'd hear the click wheel.
That's awesome.
over the PA, you know, that was singing through. I was just like, all right, that's nice and old school. So, oh boy. So, anyways,
you know what? That was such a nice feature. Like it was really easy to navigate music, and honestly, I think it's easier to scroll through than it is to do this up and down motion.
We had one. I got Missy a 130 gig one. We still have.
Yeah, they are long lasting.
Yeah, they lasted long. We were able to put a lot of stuff on there. But you know, that persistence, you know, when we came around to iPhones, kind of changed the game. So also she might be. I think she's spoiled by CarPlay.
By CarPlay,
we
yeah.
rented a car when we went to North Carolina. I'm just like,
I was going to get CarPlay. I was going to buy it and have it installed in my car, but then now that I'm moving downtown and I'm going to be walking all the time, it just won't be worth it. But I mean, it is so cool looking.
Carmen says that it sounds like I'm a Festivus celebrant. Yes. Yes. Get ready for the airing of grievances.
I would love that.
We should just have a Festivus party. Jeez.
Does anyone have a poll? Anyone in the chat room? Do you have a poll? We need a Festivus poll.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I plan that Sorgatron Media holiday. I mean, it's probably not going to be much.
Why not do it after Christmas? Why does it have to be now?
That's
a lot of
true.
companies do have their holiday parties after the new year because they know everybody's too busy, and then they just wait for like a week or two after New Year's whenever everything's dead and nothing's going on and people are looking for things to do. Then you have a little party.
That's true.
And then it actually brightens people's spirits because they say that that's one of the most depressing times of the year. It's right after the holidays because everything's gone. All of the lights are gone, but it's still very dark out and there's nothing to do. And
it's like 2 months of barren wasteland.
yeah, so people actually need something to brighten their mood. So that might be your time, Sorg. That might be your time to shine.
There you go. Anything else you wanna touch on here while we got you in studio?
I don't know.
Because I say we're really short on we have these board game.
Yeah, I didn't get to open that up. What is going on with that?
I think it's going again. I'm not a super board game person lately, but I have some friends who are, and I had thrown one in here about these board games that have like apps that go along with it, so you play part of the game. With your phone, but they are physical board games on top of it. We're talking like it's got listed here. Fuse, Mansions of Madness, Clank in Space. They have a Star Wars Imperial Assault one. There's something called Stop Thief, and which also kind of remind me. There's a werewolf one that you can do because we've played a couple of these games, and they seem to be, to me, a lot of these. Here, I'll play one of these videos to get a look at. I've always felt like there's too much to keep track of. And maybe that's where like an app will help with that.
Yeah.
So, hey, you landed on this square. This is what this square means, kind of thing.
That's interesting.
So,
yeah, I mean that would be really helpful for someone like me because I refuse to read instructions when it comes to a game. I just want to play it. I don't want to sit there and read a manual before I play a game.
Yeah, it gets overcomplicated. I mean, but once you get past that, some of these are really fun.
Yeah.
Like Munchkin or Catan. I hear people talking about. I don't think I've ever played it though. Things like that, Exploding Kittens. And this one, I like this one because this one, the Star Wars Imperial Assault one, like the map is actually the map that you lay out here is actually imitated on the iPad too. So it will kind of go along with that, but it's still like a card game and everything beyond that. So
speaking of games, have you played any of the Alexa games? They actually have games now built into.
I've heard of that.
The A-Train, yeah. And I've thought about investing in that, but I just don't ever. I don't know if I'll ever do it.
Yeah, I just kind of having the time. It's kind of like whenever I think about it, it's just like not a time to, I don't have enough downtime to be like, hey, A-Train, let's play a game and see what happens.
Here's something interesting that
we could be a live feed.
Yeah, here's an interesting story. It's not new, but I mean it might be new to you. You can. So you remember how like Siri, when Siri first came out, she was a lot more interesting. She was sassy and she would have comebacks and things like that. And now she's become extremely dull.
Yeah.
Well, Alexa obviously has picked up the slack there in that regard, and she's got a lot of great comments. And one of the things that you can now do is you can actually set your Alexa up to insult you and to say mean things. So if I say A-Train, tell me something mean. Like she'll start ripping on NBA teams. It's hilarious. And like one of the things she would say is, do you know where the Magic is? Obviously not in Orlando. Like she has like these like mean burns that she just comes up with that are just really, really brutal. One of the things was she said, I think it was the Celtics. She said, what did Santa get the naughty kid this year? Season tickets to the Boston Celtics games. Like,
wow.
She's
Amazon Echo insult comic.
Yeah, like she's nasty mean with like some of these like teams and stuff. And then she also has an insult feature where you can say, A-Train, insult me. And it's this guy in a British accent who just rips on you and just says like the meanest things about you. It's pretty great. So yeah, there's some fun things. She's become very sassy, and I'm digging it. I'm always asking her to insult me. It's fun.
From the chat room, we were talking about the board games a moment ago, and there's a place over at Castle Shannon that's doing board games called Drawbridge Games. If you're in the area, go check them out. And there's a lot of Festivus stuff. They're asking if I'll boop the internet at the Festivus party. You know about that, right?
Wait, what's this again?
We had some wrestlers get me drunk on the live feed a couple Christmases ago, and I fell out of the chair, threw up over here, and apparently booped the internet. It's the only time in my life I got blackout drunk, and it happened on the internet live.
That is hilarious.
So there was that.
Oh, God.
So
the only time that ever happened to me, I got promoted at work. Or at least I got a raise, rather.
I don't know what it did to our hits.
Yeah.
So, and we didn't have Google Ads turned on or anything. So, yeah. I lost my transition. Oh, hey, I did want to call attention to, again, something that just popped up that I did not read yet. But if you go over to the Facebook group for AwesomeCast, our friend Christopher Whitlatch had posted 10 tabletop games more immersive than Dungeons & Dragons. So go check that out. It's a GameRant.com article that he has over on the group. So if you're down with the board games, it might be one for you to read. That and the app-based board games too. So
yeah.
Any recommendations? Brian is looking for a Nintendo DS.
Yeah. If anybody knows like a really, really cheap one, I'm talking like $50 or less.
I don't think there's gonna be one for $50 unless you get like a DS, not like a 2DS, 3DS, because that's like a different. Like the 2DS, 3DS.
There's too many DSs. Why is it
they stopped and made a Switch, so they're actually not making.
They did make a Switch.
Yeah, they literally made a Switch. So, no, you can probably get an older DS for a lot cheaper at this point. But I mean, you're not gonna get like the newer of the games, but you're gonna get some pretty okay games.
Yeah,
there's some good Zeldas and everything on there. So probably a Mario Kart. So, with that, it is time. We should probably get ready for the wrestling podcast. Brian Crawford. PGHmuseums.org. I have something to plug for you now.
Yeah, makes it nice.
It felt weird. Not having that. Oh, we can buy a Festivus pool on, was that on Amazon? Yep. Thank you for that, Carmen. So where can people, of course, PGHmuseums.org. We talked a little bit about what's upcoming.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at this Festivus poll. It's only $10. Only $10. That's not bad. Yeah. We have some stuff coming up. We're going to be doing quarterly events starting in 2020, so our members will get discounts for that. And right now, 25 days. Right, there's 25 days in December, and for all 25 days, you can buy a PGH Museums membership for 25% off. So it's only $15 for a year's worth of discounts and members-only content, and just supporting the most comprehensive directory of museums, galleries, and historic places in southwestern Pennsylvania.
I guess I should mention also, if you maybe cross over with some of our other shows, we do have the Indie Wrestling Network that we do. That's usually $5.99 a month. We actually have a Cyber Monday deal with the code Cyber Monday 2019. Ooh. I believe that's expiring at midnight tonight, this Tuesday. That you can get that for 3 months for $2.99 a month, half price.
Wow.
As our special Cyber Monday we're rolling out. Yeah, we put a little bit of an extension on that, so we could throw that out around Raw and stuff last night. So, and if you're catching this Wednesday morning, sorry. From there, hey, check out sorgatronmedia.com. A lot of great stuff. Comic Book Pit was here last night. They were having some fun talking about Star Wars, which I think will be their next episode. I know the first of the recordings drop today, so please go check them out. And of course, everybody else in the Sorgatron Media family. I know there was a new Thrifty, a new Bardic Mystery Tours, and speaking of Dungeons & Dragons, and of course Pittsburgh Current should be back this week with the recording on Thursday morning, so stay tuned for all of that. Thank you, Brian Crawford, for joining us.
Thank you.
And thank you, all of you, for being out there in the chat room and on the podcast. Please, again, share the show if you're digging what's going on, or become part of the Patreon, and leave a review. All that kind of fun stuff that helps the podcast world. We haven't really done a drive for that for a while, so really appreciate that if you do that. And until then, you've been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. All right, thanks, guys. I am going to go prepare and find out if I have co-hosts for the Wrestling Mayhem.